All organisations have to comply with legislation. In this video, we will look at the following pieces of legislation: the National Minimum Wage Act, the Equality Act, the Employment Rights Act, Working Time Regulations Act, the Data Protection Act, the Human Rights Act, and the Health and Safety at Work Act. The National Minimum Wage Act sets a minimum hourly rate of pay for workers aged 18 to 20 and also 21 plus. The Equality Act protects people from discrimination and incorporates the following previous legislation: the Sex Discrimination Act, the Race Relations Act, and the Disability Discrimination Act. The Employment Rights Act protects against unfair dismissal and redundancy. It gives times off for parenting and enforces a minimum wage. It also monitors conditions for agency workers. The Working Time Regulations Act protects you from being forced to work long hours. You cannot be forced to work more than an average of 48 hours, including overtime. Your employer must maintain records that show the hours you work. They can ask you to opt out of this agreement and ask you to work above the limit. It also allows employees to have 11 hours rest in every 24 hours worked, and a rest period of 24 hours in every 7 days. A 20-minute break when working more than 6 hours, and 4 weeks paid holiday each year. The Data Protection Act of 1998 protects any living, identifiable individual from misuse or unauthorized disclosure of personal data. It also covers any expression of opinion about the individual. It covers both paper and computer files. Organisations holding personal data need to register with the Office of the Data Protection Commissioners. Individuals have the right to access and read the data held on them for a fee. The main principles of the Data Protection Act are that the data must be obtained and processed fairly and lawfully. Data will be obtained and used for only one or more specified and lawful purposes. The data should be adequate, relevant, and not excessive. Data should be accurate and kept up to date. Data should not be kept longer than the purpose requires. Data subjects have the right to prevent processing, the right to access data, the right to prevent processing for direct marketing purposes, and the right to compensation. The Human Rights Act covers the right to life, fair trial, liberty and security, privacy, freedom of thought and expression, freedom of assembly, and marriage. It prohibits discrimination, torture, slavery, and the abuse of these rights. The Companies Act covers organisations in the private sector. It covers their formation, governance, auditing procedures, and accountability. The Health and Safety at Work Act details the responsibilities of employers, management, staff, visitors, and external contractors.